a 2-bed, 2-bath suite for a year at Terminal Tower Residences. So that'll be later in the show today before we get out of here. You can go to WMMS.com, keyword contest, if you want to look into it now. But 6:20 today and tomorrow. Mary is out today. She's doing a show tonight. If you are one of our listeners in the Detroit area and looking for something to do, she's opening for Todd Barry at the Magic Bag in Ferndale, which is about 20 minutes north of downtown Detroit. It's the rare LGBT town, by the way, with a high crime rate.
Oh.
Yeah, Ferndale, Michigan. It's a very progressive town, but they got a high crime rate. I think it's a combination of being maybe just too close to the north side of Detroit. But that's where she's going to be tonight, 7 o'clock. So if you're a listener out that way, if you are somebody who listens on the iHeartRadio app from out of state, tell me where you do that, and I'll put you on our map of bureau chiefs, which you can see right over Bill's shoulder if you watch the show live.
Which I don't know if it's working right now, but I think it's more of a YouTube thing than anything here. So I don't know.
Well, the comments for my my polar blast punishment keep coming in and keep confusing me because I was expecting to take the full brunt of everyone's insults over my dyed beard and eyebrows.
I think it looks ridiculous. So
I agree with you. But that's why people are twisting my mind into a pretzel. Unless every single person is trolling me. In which case I say, well done. You know where my soft spots are. If you listen on iHeartRadio, let me know where. Stephen listens in Hermitage, Tennessee. Miles and Laura are bureau chiefs in Charleston, South Carolina. Mike's up in Livonia, Michigan. Caitlin and Ann are in Pittsburgh. Kim is out in Grand Rapids. Brittany is in Portland, Oregon. Mike is in Golden, Colorado. Thanks, one and all. If you do listen on podcast, by the way, and can't call us live, you can always use the Alan Cox Show After Hours line. You can use that anytime. Or if you do listen live and can't call, whatever, you can always leave a message, 216-986-8903. Regarding the Browns player who got caught with 200 pounds of weed and went through Texas from L.A. to New Orleans. Somebody texted me, El Paso the Dutchie on the left-hand side. Got stopped in El Paso. And they don't screw around in Texas when it comes to weed, by the way.
No. And especially El Paso.
People told me he had a 5-year contract worth $21 million.
Yeah, it's pretty good amount of money.
Man, that's good. Mm-hmm. Alan, it's not about the money. It's about living that thug life. Really? Really? I thought it was always about the money. I thought the thug life was always about the money.
It's all about it's the cred. You can have all the money in the world, but you ain't got respect.
Well, what cred do you have if you're rotting in jail?
Ask the same person.
Because you were too stupid to not drive through El Paso from L.A. to Louisiana with 200 pounds of weed.
Ask Tom Hanks' son.
Chet Hayes?
Yeah, he's literally like Malibu's
he's not in prison.
But I'm saying he's like Malibu's most wanted. It's not enough for him to be rich. He doesn't want to be a Hollywood kid. He wants to be like he's hood. Like,
but well, that's white privilege.
He has some struggle,
right? But that's all made up. He went to my alma mater. I mean, it's all made up.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not enough to have the money. You want the cred too. You can't.
Chet Hayes doesn't get cred. This guy, I don't know what
his friends. He probably does.
No, he doesn't. You think his friends are like,
kiss his ass. Yes, they do. They're like, oh, bro, let me ride in your Sprinter on the way to the club.
That's not cred. Kissing a rich friend's ass. By the way, where I went to school, everybody's rich. Not me. But it's a rich kid's school.
You are now, though. Millionaire.
Of course. Thank you.
Can we ride in your Sprinter?
Sprinter? Was this 2005?
No, Sprinters are, what's up?
Please.
Everyone has a Sprinter now. Who's rich?
No, they don't. Sprinter. Stop. What I'm saying is, kissing your rich friend's ass is not cred. And, by the way, Chet Hanks ain't running 200 pounds of marijuana.
Maybe he's good at it. He just hasn't got caught.
Yeah, maybe so.
I never understood that.
There you go.
Well, I never understood that, though, because I knew a lot of, I wouldn't say I know a lot, but I do know some rich friends that I went to school with, their family were of means, owned businesses, or
and then they deal drugs,
or they were pastors' kids. They were always the worst ones in school. And I always, like, coming from the struggle, I'm like, I want to get out of this. Like, I want what you have, and he's steady getting suspended because he's fighting, or gang affiliation, or selling drugs, or smoking weed, or bringing pills to school. I'm like, why? All you literally have to do is do your work, go home to your mansion, and then wait for your parents to die and you have inheritance. Why are you making your life so difficult? I never understood it.
That's what I say. Quiet money. JB Smoove says it best. You want that quiet money.
Quiet money, but
where people don't know
when you're a kid and you grow up in that situation. There's plenty of kids that do
Even if your parents are dicks, though. Even if your parents are dicks, wait till they die.
Doesn't matter.
Take their
the
money.
Trauma is there. And when you get traumatized like that...
I would rather have trauma rich than trauma poor.
Yeah, you know that as a 24-year-old, or what are you, 27?
He's 27.
30? Whatever you are. However, but when you're a little kid, you're not thinking about that. You are born into a life of means, so you take it for granted. That's how things go, man.
That's why Colin Hanks is so much more successful.
Yeah.
Because he is Tom Hanks' son from his first wife that he left.
Yeah, he had to work for his dad.
Colin Hanks had to work, right. Mm-hmm. Chet Hayes grows up with Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks, and now he thinks he's Jamaican. Because he's like,
everybody lay back here. Like, I had a friend, I didn't even smoke weed in high school, but my rich friend always had, apparently, he said he always had the best weed. And all my pot-smoking friends in high school, they said he had the best weed. And he's like, I get this from Africa. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you're such a poser. I hate you, but I'm not going to not hang out with you because you're my ride to school every morning.
You're my ride to school.
Like, before I had a car, I'm like, yes, please let him pull up in his like Cadillac. He's like, oh, this is just one of my dad's cars. Like, when he's not taking it to work, he lets me drive it. I'm like, oh my God, I hate you, but I want to be your friend.
Oh yeah, I drove a 65 Mustang. Yeah, I drove a 65 Mustang to prom.
Pretty cool.
Because it was me and my girlfriend and two other couples. And the other two couples, the one guy, his dad was crazy loaded. And his dad had a warehouse full of classic cars. And for prom, he goes, you guys go pick one.
That's amazing.
And so so I'm driving this. I completely uncomfortable. I couldn't enjoy it. I was puckered the whole night.
Yeah.
I couldn't enjoy it. One of the other dudes is driving like a 64 Corvette. I'm like, first of all, who cares that we're pulling up in these? Everybody else is in a limo or whatever, That was like more their thing. I was outnumbered because they were like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
I was annoyed by prom because our prom was in Worcester at this, like, it was like half an hour from Medina. Like maybe even longer. It was a long-ass drive to get to this banquet center that they had our prom in, and it was really annoying to get there. So I didn't, because it wasn't like right off the highway either. You had to take a bunch of country roads to get there, and so by the time you get there, like, God, I just drove for 45 minutes. I don't feel like being here.
Yeah, you can't, and you show up all annoyed because you drove that long way in whatever car you rented, and you're like, I put miles on this, I got to put gas in this, and then
I was driving my dad's Suburban, so
there was no point in me renting a car for. I used my cousin's car because she had a really nice one. But then my whole family followed us. They followed us to the prom parking lot, and then they're like, "Okay, pop out, let's take some pictures." I'm like,
why didn't they do that at the house?
Because they wanted us outside of the venue.
I mean, I went to Catholic high school, so prom was at the school.
I'd rather have been at school. It's closer.
We wouldn't. It wasn't like we were pulling up to someplace cool. We were parking at school.
Yeah, no.
In these cars. I'm like, okay.
I was at a strip mall banquet center. It's not cool either. Like
ours was a country club.
Yes, that's like a prom place.
Yeah,
we didn't do that. We did it in our school gymnasium.
Oberlin, like, we had junior and senior prom because neither class was big enough to have like their own prom. So
yeah, we had junior, senior,
and like my graduating class was 98. So junior and seniors together, I think we probably had a total of 60 kids, like, at the prom. So it was stupid. I wish I would have just stayed home.
By the way, devotion to accuracy, that dude who called us about his friend that got picked up in Wyoming with the weed and the shatter. He said shatter. I was thinking shards, which is meth. I said meth. Shatter is weed oil.
Oh, okay.
I'm being told, like THC extract or whatever. So not meth.
Wow.
Still. Crazy. In a couple of months
Sounds
in Wyoming.
Right.
Boy, you get pulled over in Wyoming, like you've just doubled the state's population.
I thought
You and your pal.
I thought shatter was when you ate 40 pizzas in 30 days.
John Schnatter.
Schnatter.
You got schnattered. Yeah.
Schnattered. I like how he had to do a little edit to that. He's like, I didn't eat 40 pizzas. I ordered 40 or something like that. Like, yeah, we didn't think you ate all 40 of them, but
why did he order 40 if he's not going to eat them? That's him trying to fake us out. My prom was on the good time, somebody said. Yeah, I mean,
That would be
I think
great.
that's Lorraine's
that's
prom,
like
I think.
that makes sense for a prom.
Yeah,
I'm like, and I didn't know any better. I mean, I'd gone to Catholic school I went K through 12, so I didn't know any better. We're like, okay, it's in the gym.
Yeah, I think Lorraine had their prom on the good time. I know one other school, they had theirs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, they had theirs at really cool venues. And
That's pretty slick.
One school had theirs at Kalahari. I'm like, damn it. But I didn't expect Oberlin to go.
Kalahari, I'd be like,
above and
hey,
beyond.
enough with this dumb dance and stuff. Let's go on some water slides.
Yeah, but I
Do
don't
you get to do like after prom there? Do you think?
probably not, because they did not let you rent a room. Because they're kids and they know they were getting ready to do some dirty stuff up there. So you can have your prom there, but you got to go somewhere else.
You got to go somewhere. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
No, they didn't want a bunch of 18, 17-year-olds having a room at the hotel and then drinking
But I'm just saying,
and
like,
partying.
Yeah, but they probably still did. There's probably some that still did.
I don't know. I didn't even go to like an after prom. The after prom wasn't a thing when I was in school.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't do it.
We had after
It
prom.
was when I was in school.
Yeah, we had after prom because that's where like we had like a bunch of those like blow up. I don't know those. What are those things? Like the big air
Inflatables?
machines. Yeah, the inflatables like with the
Well, they saw
slides on them and stuff like
We
that.
were allowed
And then
to
we were
leave.
able
Slides.
to. Yeah, it was like one was like a slide, and the other one would be like a bungee cord. And you run as far as you can, and then it flings you back.
I don't know.
And then there's like a bounce house one.
Maybe Oberlin didn't
These
have
are
money.
for like kids
Well, 'cause
that
I-
are in like 18. But like that's the thing, the nerdy kids like me went to after prom. Everybody else went out and partied and got drunk and late.
I didn't even do
like
that. I was like, great, this is one less thing I got to do. I'm going home. Because we were allowed to leave, but our parents had to sign us out. So my date, I actually took my brother's ex-wife's sister. So I technically took my sister-in-law for prom.
That's hot.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah, we just did. I think we went back to somebody's house, and then the next day everybody went to Great America. We went to Six Flags. Well, by that time, like I desperately wanted to dump my girlfriend.
Did you guys have,
I did. She was like pleading with me because she knew it was coming. She was pleading with me, "Don't dump me before prom." And so I didn't have a good time at prom because I didn't
You're
want
in
to be
the car that you didn't want to drive.
No,
the
I did
girl
not
you
have a
don't
good
want to be with.
Nope.
That's prom.
did you guys
I
have a
love that.
senior trip?
Yeah, I think there was.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You didn't go?
It was too expensive for us, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, if we
Something-
had one, I
something big,
wasn't
yeah.
academically eligible.
Fair enough. Okay.
Academically eligible. You had to be academically eligible to go on the senior trip?
I'm sure you did.
Wow.
I didn't care though. I mean, I barely went to school my senior year. Like I did the
Senior-
exact minimum,
Senior privileges.
but like no. I mean, I would leave school a lot, and I would just get suspended because I would leave school, and so like my senior year was pretty tumultuous.
Strongville prom at the Wolstein Center. We had our prom at the Terrace of Progressive Field.
That's lit,
We
man.
had our prom at Windows on the River. We had our prom. We had our prom at Cleveland Brown Stadium.
See,
We
those sound like cool places to
That's
have
a cool
proms.
venue.
A banquet hall in Worcester, not that cool.
Hey, welcome to the banquet hall in Worcester.
Yeah, ours was at like a country club next to the Flower-Rama in Lorraine. I'm like, great. Can't wait.
Alan, you look like your beard like when the old G.I. Joe dolls had the felt on their face. There you go.
That's pretty good.
You look like you're going to sing a pirate song. That too, right? He-ody, ho-dy, shiver me timbers, captain's got one of those.
But you have heard of me.
Little miniature concertina. Yeah, but you have. Yeah. Why not? Maybe this pirate look, maybe that's my look, Bill.
It's the life for you.
It's
You saying that-
ridiculous, but maybe this pirate look is my look.
Hey, we already got a pirate on the show.
Are you referring to me? That is so rude. And I caught that because I'm like, wait a minute, pirate.
Yeah, because you're always stealing songs and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
why.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't think that's what he means, Poundcake.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that offensive?
The way you said it, you tried to slide it in there. Yeah, I am kind of offended by it.
You are kind of offended by it?
Are you offended by it because it's offensive, or because you had to think about it and that you don't like?
I had to think about it, and I don't like you insulting me and having it to. I have to wait for it to register. I don't like that. I want you to say it to my face.
You don't like the insult grenade where he pulls the pin and a couple seconds later it goes off?
Yeah.
That's what gays do. Munch butts and celebrate Halloween.
Oh, by the way, thanks to everybody that came out last night to the Doghouse Bar and Grill in Elyria. It was a packed
Looked
house.
packed out.
It was absolutely packed out. There wasn't a seat in the place that wasn't filled, and then there was standing room, and it was great. They were real fun. There was a lady that she was like a few years ahead of me when I did 1 year at Highland High School in Medina, and she had me sign her yearbook, where I was like just a little boy, just little Bill. And then there's another lady that had a rooster, and she's like, "Hey, I have a cock."
A rooster?
Yeah, but it's like a little wooden one.
Yeah, I understand.
And she was, but she was sweet.
Does she use it to wake up? Does it say cock-a-doodle-doo in the morning and wake her up?
No, she takes it around to different like bike rallies and puts it between girls' boobs and takes pictures. So
I see. So
I was
very
happy
subtle.
I was happy to take a picture with her cock.
Very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Alan, you look like the oldest member of a boy band.
That is
Right.
That's a good one.
That too, yes. I'm going to start
What up,
doing.
AJ?
I'm going to start doing bisexual pornog. Perhaps pornog. Alan, our first after prom was a bowling alley. Second was the Kent State Rec Center lock-in. Lock-in.
Lame.
Well, again, we didn't know any better.
Now looking back, and I'm like, ugh, how were we sober during that? Kids rubbing up against each other. I remember.
I know. I was sober for every dance that I ever went to.
Yeah, I didn't drink.
So
Teacher came through with a flashlight, and if you were closer than the length of her flashlight, then you had to separate. I'm like, man.
We had to leave
with
enough.
that.
We had to leave room for the Holy Ghost.
but it's a ghost. Ghosts can go right through you. So you don't need a lot of room.
That's right.
Ghosts can fit through anything.
Intangible, Mrs. Vines. Intangible.
I mean, you could be inside someone and there's still room for the Holy Ghost. It's a spirit.
The saddest part.
You sound like you've tested that theory too.
I'm just saying it's not the best analogy.
Sure.
Like leave room for Jesus Christ, not the Holy Ghost.
Jesus Christ.
Baby cheeses. I've got a whole apron full of baby cheeses right here. That's what smells. My prom was so smelly. I was carrying around all those baby cheeses.
Worst part of prom that I remember was there was a teacher that saw that one guy was there. He had no date, and he was all dressed up, and he was sitting at a table by himself. So I was like, I know she's not going to ask him to sit with us. I know she's not. And the teacher comes over. She's like, hey, guys, you guys look like you're having so much fun. Would you mind if Bradley over here joined you? I was like, oh, my gosh, you literally are ruining
You look like you're having so much fun, and I would like to end that right now. Can Bradley come and sit with you?
Oh, I was like, I feel so sorry for the kid.
Yeah, but it's your fault for sitting at prom. Who's sitting around at prom?
We were all sitting. It was during dinner. And he was sitting by himself.
Why did he come by himself?
That's, I
Nobody
don't
asked him
know.
that?
No.
Was he like touched in the head or?
No.
Did he have the same haircut as me?
Actually, I think he kind of did. I mean, he wasn't the cool guy by any means, but really none of us were. And I was like, even I was in the closet and I had a date. So I was like, if I could do it, he could definitely do it. Pay someone. But I was like, you're making it worse. Like, you're like the mom, like, hey, be sure to, take your lunch with you. Make sure he doesn't get bullied. And she went around to each table and asked if it was okay if they sat with us, or do we have an extra chair, or can we pull a chair up? I'm like, oh my God, you're the worst.
Wow. So you wanted nothing to do with being nice to this person?
No, I was
and even fake including him in your group?
Nah. I didn't want him to sit with us.
As someone who had been ostracized to a certain degree, you felt no empathy for this person whatsoever?
No, because back then I was selfish.
Back then?
I was selfish. I was like,
I was selfish back then. Now I'm an altruist.
If I got to suffer, everybody got to suffer too. I don't want to be
I'm
here.
as magnanimous as they come. I'm Poundcake.
Magnanimous Prime.
The difference between me and him is that if I didn't have a date, I wouldn't have come. Like, I wouldn't have come. I didn't want to come with her as my date. But my mom
I had a date and I still didn't.
My mom was like, you're going to regret not going. I was like, I bet you I won't. I guarantee you I won't. And then I went. I was like, I regret going, not regret not going.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go. Hey, I got those Sonic Temple passes for you on the way back. 3-day weekend passes, Metallica, doing 2 separate nights, 2 separate shows. Slipknot's there. They've added Deftones and Stained and Evanescence and about 100 bands total. It is mid-May down in Columbus. 15th, 16th, and 17th back at Mapfre Stadium. So I'll have those for you after the break. 35192 if you want to text.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
From the Universal Windows Direct Weather Center, WMMS Weather.